expand in life. It's our natural state to expand. The work is about expansion, going to places that are... Expansion doesn't occur by staying in a comfort zone. A comfort zone is another way of thinking about shrinkage. So I'm just talking tonight maybe in different terms so that we can get our head around when life comes at us in a way that we start to get defensive, you shrink. And what we want to try to do is reframe it so you expand. So I started thinking about that today, and then I thought about a spiritual teacher whose work has really influenced me a lot. I remember him in one of his books. He talks about how your big victories in life or your big moments, they're not really the defining moments of your existence. Your existence is really defined by the day-to-dayness of how you hold things. And to me, what's exasperating about that, and is the journey that we're all on, is it's up to you, just like it's up to me, to try to change the way we perceive things and think about things on a daily basis. So if you do that cumulatively, it will expand, oh, good word, it will expand your life. So it's really the minutia of your life. So this is an example. Today I got some news that, kind of put me in a, and maybe because I had expectations of an outcome being the way that I wanted it to be, and it didn't happen that way. So what happened to me is immediately my thoughts started to connect to the part where I started to shrink. And if we're not careful, if you continue to shrink around things that happen to you in life as a reaction to it, you start to build a wall, stone by stone, pebble by pebble, rock by rock, that becomes quite impenetrable. And that shows up in your life in resentment, negativity, self-sabotage. These are good words. Self-sabotage is really what I want to talk about, connected to this thing about expansion. So, we've all done this. When you face a rejection in life, this is what you, me, all of us do. I hate the business. They don't know what they're talking about. These people are assholes. Thank God I got a smile up there. See, at least somebody's acknowledging that that's what happens, because that's what happens to me. That's what happens to all of us. We have a reaction to things as opposed to, hold on, wait a minute. First of all, nothing is personal. We take it personal because we're invested in an outcome. But I started thinking about, if Barbara asked me what I was eating, and I was peas. I started thinking about peas today. For someone I was thinking about is, oh, perfect. And I said, Barbara just whispered, I hate peas. So here's the thing. If I'm shocked by that, because the truth is this. I love peas. They're like these green little micro worlds. They're like these little planets among themselves. But the thing is if Barbara expresses to me that she hates peas, I don't take it personally. I don't get all worked up. I'm actually kind of just like flabbergasted that you don't like peas, but it's not that big of a deal. Do you get what I'm saying? But for some reason, when the agent rejects you, you don't see it from that framework of, oh, it's just, he doesn't like my peas. He prefers carrots, and I'm a pea. We don't see it that way. You see it the way I just described it. You start to shrink. So all we want to try to do is just shift the framework. We just want to shift it. Why can't there also be a different point of view, which is, oh, they don't get me, or it's not the right fit, or I totally see where they're coming from. So you send somebody your reel, let's say, and they don't really respond to your reel, and your first reaction is to react in a defensive posture. Can't you also take a breath so that you don't shrink and see it as, oh, I get what they're saying, and I may not agree with that, but it's not going to disrupt my day. Which is then the point of like what I was saying about the spiritual teacher talking about, it's your responsibility to start working on how you react to life. Because then that does become cumulative. And I want to end with this one last perspective to think about it. You guys, here's the thing. It's up to you. I don't know how all of you in your own consciousness perceive the world. But for me, you have to make a choice, really. I believe that it's all divine, that everything here is divine. But if everything is divine, stay with me, not the door. If everything here is divine, even that, the weirdness of the door. See, if everything is divine, then the things that I don't necessarily like are also divine. I can't pick and choose. I can't decide that The only divinity stuff is when it's really great, when you get the job, when you make millions of dollars. Divinity doesn't only exist in America. What does that say to people who are not American or a certain race or ethnicity? Or you get what I'm saying? So if it's all divine, even the imperfect, actually it's all then perfection. Actually, you can't have perfection without imperfection. So if you start to see it that way, you can start to make choices that are more available to you when you get feedback or you get resistance or you get a rejection or the agent drops you or whatever these things in the business that challenge you, and you can see it as all of its in perfect order. And what I started to have a breakthrough about today is I was like, when I project it outwards and I'm making it be about somebody else, it has nothing to do with them. They're a reflection of my own stuff. And so for me to have the kind of conversation that's negative or self-sabotaging or resistance-filled or based in fear is really an onslaught against myself. So I'm really eradicating my own divinity. We don't want to do that, kids. Especially about something as impersonal and neutral as a pea. See what I'm saying?